This is day number 19. Day number 19. This is day number 20. And yan, unahin muna natin ito. Kasi madali lang ito. We already discussed this one during the face-to-face session, no? So this is day number 18, not 20, ha? Kasi yung mga modules natin magkakaiba-iba eh. Mas nag-edit. So this is module number 18. The title of day number 18 is Identifying the Appropriate Test Statistic and Describing the basic steps of testing of hypothesis. Again, what are the test statistic? We have three test statistics. And can you give me one? Actually, answer yes. Open your mic. What are the test statistics do we have in core 006, guys? Answer? Yes. Open your mic if you know the answer. Yes, Dimples, James, diba? Dimples muna.
Sir, ano po, Z-test.
Z-test. What else? We have Z-test and we have
T-test, sir.
T-test. And last one, what is the
F-test, sir.
F-test is already also known as what? F-test is also known as answer.
T-test.
F-test is also known as
ANOVA, sir.
very good. ANOVA. What is the meaning of ANOVA? The meaning of ANOVA is what? What is the meaning of ANOVA? What is the meaning of ANOVA? Analysis of variance. Right. Thank you. Sabi ni Francesco Ramos, analysis of variance. Very good. ANOVA. That is the analysis of variance. And next, this is the educated guess. This is the first or the starting point of a researcher. This is the starting point. This is an educated guess, no? So this it will serve as their guide when it comes to experimental research. What is the answer?
Hypothesis po.
Very good. It's hypothesis. How many steps do we have when it comes to hypothesis testing?
Sir, 6 po.
So we have six. What is the last step? What is the last step in hypothesis testing? Very
Sir,
good.
conclusion.
It's conclusion. What if my HO is rejected? If HO is rejected, always remember if HO is rejected, meaning to say there is no, or not enough evidence to no enough evidence for H1 or HA. What is H1 and HA? That is alternative hypothesis. If ever na ma-reject natin si HO, yan. Pag na-reject si HO ha, pag na-reject si HO pala, it's enough evidence for H1. Sorry, nagkabaliktaran tayo. If ever na ma-reject si HA or the alternative, there is not enough evidence. Okay? Siyempre, na-reject yung H1, di ba? Na-reject yung HA or the alternative. Meaning to say, not enough evidence for H1. So, ganun na lang gawin natin conclusion. Kasi kung yung complete sentence natin yun, mahaba eh. Okay? And type 1 and type 2 error. And we have the correct decision, right? If we have a correct decision, just accept the null hypothesis if it is true. If the null hypothesis is false, reject it. That is the correct decision. And step 1 error is also known as alpha. Type 2 error is also known as beta. Alright, so tandaan niyo yung mga yun dahil sa quiz bee baka itanong niyo yung mga yun. And for you to identify if it is t-test or z-test, of course, you need to remember the sample size. The sample size, that is the technique para ma-determine ninyo if it is z-test or t-test. If the n is less than, no? If n is less than 30, meaning to say 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, that. So less than 30, we're going to use the t-test. And the first step in getting the critical region of t-test, you need to find the value of df. And what is df, sir? The df is the degree of freedom. The degree of freedom is n minus 1. So, for example, your n is 28. So, 28 minus 1, so 27. So, 27 is your degree of freedom. Right? So, now we're going to identify what statistics appropriate the given problem. We have two objectives. We're going to identify the appropriate course and describe the basic steps. So we have 6 steps in hypothesis testing. Number one, we're going to formulate the null and alternative. Number two is the level, you must know the level of confidence and determine what, if it is a directional, non-directional, one-tailed, two-tailed, and of course, t-test or z-test. So, ito po yun. Day number 18. We already discussed this one during our face-to-face class. Okay, so yung day 16 to 19, natatuloy natin yun kapag na-discuss natin yung day number 19. So, what we did is we already discussed it during the face-to-face class. That's why it is a review na lang siya, no? To describe the basic steps in statistical hypothesis testing. So we discussed the content, but the solution, discuss natin today. So yun po, formulate the null, identify the level of significance. In number 3, you we're going to get the critical region. After the critical region, of course, the z value or t value. And number 5, we're going to determine whether reject or accept HO and HA. Okay? So yun ba? Yun po yung mga ginawa natin during the face-to-face, no? I ask you one by one. Ay, din, parang nagkaroon tayo ng recitation. Here. So yun po. Z-test is n is greater than 30 and t-test is n is less than 30. Ganun lang naman yun. F-test is 2 or more population variants or ANOVA or the analysis of variants. Na? So, number 1, an agronomist randomly selected 20 matured calamansi trees. So we have randomly selected, so I have 20. So what is the test statistic in number 1? Nandun na 20 daw. So what is the test statistic in number 1? This is, what is the answer? You can
Sir,
utilize our chat box, yes? Answer? Since the
po ata
number,
kayo
yes?
di po ata kayo na, anong tawag dun, di po ata nag-appear yung presentation niyo po.
I wait. Wait, wait lang. Tire screen. Check nyo nga. Okay na ba? Kita na? Okay na, no?
Sir, yes po.
Alright, so number 1, randomly selected 20 matured calamansi trees of one variety and have mean of height of 10.8 feet. So, nandun na. Sinabi niya na yung sample size. What is the answer number 1? This is it Z-test, T-test, or F-test? Answer.
Dito.
So the answer here is
Test.
the test. Next, number 2, a sample of 70 observations was selected. Nandun na, sinabi niya na agad yung sample size. Answer? Yes.
Sir,
Z-test.
This is Z-test. Yes, Von? Do you have a problem?
sir, pwede po pabalik sa number 1. Hindi ko nakita yung sagot.
Oh, yan na. Okay na.
Okay po.
Alright. So,
Okay na
number
po.
1 is t-test. Kasi the sample size is 20, less than 30, no? Then, since here po, number 2 is a sample of 70. It is greater than 30. That's why we gonna use z-test. How about number 3? A district supervisor of a certain school surveyed 28 randomly selected. So we have the sample size of 28.
Hello, sir.
Hello. This
T-test.
is t-test. We use t-test because of the sample size, which is 28, less than 30, right? And then number 4, we're going to determine who among the 3 salesmen will most likely be promoted based on their monthly sales. Answer, is it t-test, Z, or F? 3, 3. Salesman will most likely. The answer here is if it is 3 or if it is 2 or 3 population variants, we're gonna use F test or the analysis of variance or F test. No? Okay na po? So number 4 is F test, no? Kasi wala namang binanggit niya na N is equal to N is equal to, no? So number 5, a researcher randomly selected a sample of 550 residents and found that 495 of them do have household plants. So what is the answer in number 5? The answer here is Z-test. Why is it Z-test? Because of the word sample of 550, it is greater than 30. So the answer number 5 is Z-test. Now next, what test statistics is appropriate to use when the population variant is assumed to be known? If the population variance is assumed to be known, answer t-test or z-test for number L or A. Can utilize our chat box. Oh, what is the answer? Sabi ni Marian. Kanina pa pala yan. So the population variance is assumed to be known or the population or the standard deviation is known. Is it Z or T? Answer. Oh, what is the test statistic? If it is the standard deviation is known or the SD is known. Oh, tapos na natin yan. What is the answer? No na, known. Sabi, puros kayo tites. Paano naging tites yun? Di ba pag known yung standard deviation niya, so meron siyang population standard deviation, ininig to si known, di ba? So z-test siya, di ba? In number 1, letter A is z-test. How about letter B? The population variance is assumed to be known or unknown rather. If it is unknown, that is t-test. Very good, t-test. How about letter C? When the sample size is greater than or equal to 30, what is the answer in letter C? Very good, is z-test. Z-test for number letter C. How about letter D? The sample is less than 30. The answer here is t-test. Okay, right? Thank you. So, so that is the content for day number 18. So sabi ko sa kanina, is tapos na yan nung face-to-face, no? We already know how to determine what is z-test and what is t-test and f-test na din. Kasi yung f-test, hindi pa siya ma-discuss eh. It's more on the definition but the solving for f-test is susunod pa yung mga lesson na yun. So that's it for z-test and t-test and for f-test na rin. So let's go to problem solving. This is the problem solving. So please bring out your calculator and help me to solve the problem, no? Para mabilis tayo. This is hypothesis testing for the population mean. Population mean, the symbol for population mean is mu. And again, six steps when it comes to hypothesis testing, right? We're going to distinguish here the test concerning comparison between the population mean and the sample mean. Sample mean is X bar. And we're going to solve a lot of problems here. And of course, we have 3 cases in dealing with hypothesis tests. Number 1 is yes, the population standard deviation is known, and the population standard deviation is not known. When the population standard is known, that is z-test. When the population standard deviation is not known, that is t-test. The population standard deviation is not known, but the sample size exceeds 30, still, that is z-test. We're going to use z-test since the sample size is exceeds 30. No? And we have the case number one. So for me, so do not memorize this one. Do not memorize this one. Just focus on the problem that we're going to share with you. Again, you need to memorize the critical value for z or the z value. We're not going to give you the details of critical value or the corresponding level of significance here in the box of level of significance. You need to memorize this one. For example, the if it is one if it is directional, meaning to say one-tailed siya, no? And if it is direct non-directional, automatic po two-tailed. So in the problem solving, mag-mute sino yung naka-open yung mic dyan? Maingay. Mag-mute muna while
Sa maingay po din.
while discussing. Mag-mute muna sino yung maingay. Dangol-dangol na aso. Yung mic, maingay. Mag-off muna. Mag-off mic muna pag hindi tinatawag. Kung walang tanong si teacher, mag-off muna. Again, you need to memorize the z value or the level of significance of one-tailed and two-tailed of z value. Ha? So, sasabihin naman doon kung ano yung level of significance, if it is 0.1, 0.05, if it is in the form of percentage, you need to divide it by 100. If it is 5%, that is 0.05. If it is 5%, so this is 5%, this is 10%, and this is 1%. How about 0.025? How many percent is this one? What is the percentage, of 0.025? Answer? Nikki?
2.5% po.
2.5%. Kaya, sabi niyo 2.5% ang ating 0.025. Alright, so again, you need to memorize this one. Let's have a quick review first. According to the study, there is an increase on average monthly, no? Expenses 250 pesos. Just one. You're raising your hand.
Sir, pabalik po yan.
Okay na?
Okay na po, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Identify what is the test statistic in number one. Answer? Z-test, T-test. It's either A or B only. Answer?
Sir, the test.
Letter A. The answer is letter
A.
A because the sample size is 60 students. So we're going to pick letter A. Number two, a cellular battery manufacturer claims that his battery, when fully charged, has a mean life of 24 hours with an SD of 4 hours. A dealer randomly chose sample of 35 batteries to be tested and resulted to 22.5 hours mean life. In the given situation, 22.5 hours is answer. What is 22.5 though? Answer is letter A. Let's see. So sabi niya dito, a dealer randomly choose sample 35 parts that resulted to 22.5 hours mean life. Very good. This is a sample mean of the standard deviation. Next one. How about number three? What is the answer in this given problem? What is the statistical tool or what is the test statistic suitable to use in this problem? Is it T, Z, or ANOVA, or chi-square? Your answer is A. Let's see if it is a test. An area manager found out that the average gross sales from 28 outlet under the jurisdiction and 1.5 million from the mean sales of the 28 outlets under her jurisdiction. Very good. The sample size is 28, so we're going to pick letter A. T-test, because our sample size is 28 only. Okay? Next. A random sample of 100 recorded deaths in the Philippines during the past years showed an average lifespan of 71.8 years. With a standard deviation of 8.9 years, does this seem to indicate that the average lifespan today is greater than 70 years? Use a 0.5 level of significance. Okay, the first step in hypothesis testing, we're now moving on to the hypothesis testing. And number one is we're going to find the value of HA and the HA and HO. And HA, it is always equal, right? To be safe, always use equal. So mu, tapos mu. Tingnan natin kung may direction. Do we have a direction when it comes to alternative hypothesis? Do we have a direction? Do we have a direction here? If it is non-directional, non-directional, so what is the symbol if it is directional or non-directional? Hello? Meron bang palatandaan dyan? Kung
Sir, greater than.
one-tailed or, yes, this is the word greater than. So meaning to say our HA is greater than. So this is mu is greater than 70. So that is our HA. For HO naman, it is always equal. Para safe kayo, gamitin nyo palagi yung equal. Okay? Number 2, what are the alpha? Alpha is 0.05. 0.05 alpha. Then since greater than siya, so greater than meaning to say it is one tail. One tail po siya. Sulat ito one tail. And kapag one tail siya, ibig sabihin directional. Okay? Directional. And what is the appropriate test statistics in number one? Answer, is it Z or T test?
Z-test.
So Z test. So we're going to use Z test here because n is greater than or equal to 30 because the random sample here is 100. Okay. Number 3, we're going to identify the critical region. The critical region here is we're going to use the table. We have 0.05 and we have one tail. So since we have one tail and 0.05, one tail tapos 0.05. So our critical region here is 1.645. I repeat, since our level of significance is 0.05 for example number 1, and it is directional, which is one tailed and greater than po yun, meaning to say it is right-sided or right, no, right side ng ating this normal distribution. We're going to write as the critical value here, critical region. The Z of the critical region is equivalent to 1.645. Again, always do not rely on your modules kasi sometimes po mali-mali yung mga sagot nila doon. Mag-rely lang po tayo sa mga tinuturo ko. Ha? Next, number 4. So, we're going to write number 4 here. In number 4, we're going to find the Z value now. In Z value, yes, one. Si one ba yan?
Sir, pabalik po sa dyan. Pabalik po. Yan.
Alright. Greater than lang po yung palatandaan doon ha. Hindi nakasama si less than ha. Greater
Okay.
than.
Thank you po.
Greater than lang po yan ha. So the z value is x bar minus the mu all over since n is greater than, so the standard deviation is known. So we're going to use population of standard deviation squared of n. So in the problem, uh, our sample mean is 71.8. Sir, how are we going to identify if it is sample mean or population standard deviation? As you can see, in step number 1, makikita mo agad na population mean ito kasi yun yung nasa HO and HA natin. And ano pa? Kung titingnan niyo dito, a random sample of 100. Kahilera niya po si average na 71.8. Kapag yung random sample na 100 is kahilera niya yung mga susunod ni average. Kahilera niya to eh. Ibig sabihin, yung sample which is your n is 100 yung sample na word, madadamay niya yung 71.8 which is the average. So, magiging sample din siya. So, sample X bar. So, magiging 71.8. Yun yung technique ha. So, paano pag yung random sample is nalagay dyan is 70? O, di 70 yung ilagay ninyo. Okay? Pero nandun na eh. Nandun na sa H1, HA, na-identify mo na agad eh. Kung sino yung, kung ano yung population mean, which is 70. Ha? Basta ganun yung technique ha. Kung kunyari yung random sample, nabanggit siya sa second sentence. So yung random sample nandito po sa dash, this seem to indicate that the average life of sample, lifespan, ganon. Pag dyan siya nabanggit, ibig sabihin, yung 71.8, yung ating uh, yung 70 is your sample mean. So since yung sample of 100 is the sample size, kasama kahilera niya yung 71.8, madadamay si 71.8 as a sample mean. Kaya yung sample mean natin dito 71.8. Tapos yung mean natin doon 70. Tapos, yung standard deviation naman, sinabi niya doon na 8.9 years. So, lagay natin dito 8.9 years. Then, yung n natin dyan is 100. Now, I want you to compute what is the z value using your calculator. Go. What is the z value?
71.013 po.
Come again.
71.013.
71. That is wrong. Okay, ganito para hindi kayo malito. Critical region. Yung critical region natin, sir, positive ba or negative? Siyempre positive. Sir, why, ano ba yung technique namin kung paano namin masasabi kung positive siya or negative? Ganito yan ha. Di ba greater than yung sinabi doon? So, ibig sabihin, your critical region is greater than 1.645. So, that is the specific answer. If ever natanungin kayo sa exam, ano kaya, ang nilagay namin sir doon, positive eh. There's a specific answer for that. Because greater than po yung ating direction, no? So, yun yung saktong sagot. Kung gusto nyo ng, kasi minsan kapag hindi na nilalagay. Kapag walang direction, siyempre, positive, negative, ha? Since may direction, ilagay nyo greater than. Sir, paano pag less than? O di ilagay mo less than, ha? Sa critical region. Okay, next. Dito naman sa ating z value, the answer here is 2.02. Nakita ko sa chat box. The answer here is 2.02, which is correct. So, sir, paano naging 2.02 yung answer? O di, solve natin. Okay? Fraction 71.8 minus 70 all over fraction ulit 8.9 square root of 100. So in my calculator, the answer here is your answer must be in two decimal places. And next to 2 is 2. That's why retain 2.0. 2.02 for our z value. Okay? So this is the z value. In your exam, this is 2 points. Okay, number 5. Number 5 naman, decide whether accept or reject. Okay? Yeah. So in deciding whether accept or reject, so we're going to use the normal distribution. Always rely on the direction of, of the normal distribution. And since it is greater than and it is a positive one, we're going to locate the critical region and the critical value right side of our normal distribution. So you are already familiar that our normal distribution in the right side has 3. No? It is divided into 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. We're going to locate the critical region. The critical region is greater than, so 1.6 per 5. And 1.6 per 5 is approximately located here. I'm going to write ZZ or ZC as our critical region. And of course, the rejection area is from the critical region up to the right side of our normal distribution. So these are what we call rejection area. If ever yung rejection area po yun ha, rejection area. rejection area. Yung naka-red ha. Yan, rejection area yan. If ever po yung rejection area natin ay dumaan po si Z value, ibig sabihin po reject natin si HO ha. I-reject natin si HO. Right? Ulitin ko. If ever na yung Z value natin is dumaan siya sa ating rejection area, so we're going to reject HO. Gets? Oh, yung Z value ha. Critical region is our base para ma-identify natin kung i-reject natin si HO or hindi natin i-reject. Pag dumaan siya sa rejection area, ibig sabihin i-reject natin si HO. I repeat, yung Z value pag dumaan sa critical region, sa rejection area, i-reject natin si HO ha. So yung 2.02 located here po. Yan dito yung 2.02, this is our Z value. So our decision here in number 5 is reject natin. Kasi dumaan siya sa rejection area. So reject HO, accept. Accept HA. Alright? So in number 6 naman, yan po yun. Ulitin natin. Magtanong kayo kung nalilito kayo ha. So yung number 6 naman, yung conclusion natin sa number 6. Ulitin ko. Huwag kayong mag-rely sa module ha. Sa number 6 kasi, pwede siyang maging the average lifespan today is greater than 70 years. Nag-rely ako sa HA kasi na-reject natin ito. Na-reject, accept natin si HA, di ba? So, pwede siyang maging the average lifespan today is greater than 70. So, tama yung HA. Or, there is enough evidence for HA. Enough. Pwedeng maging enough evidence. Enough evidence to support HA. Ulitin natin. If the critical region is located on this problem and the Z value is under siya ng critical region, you're going to reject HO and accept the alternative. That is always rely on the critical region. If ever the Z value is under the shaded part or the rejection area or it is under the critical region, always reject the HO and accept the alternative. And if ever the HO is rejected, of course, we're going to, the conclusion will be enough evidence to support HA. Sir, what is the conclusion if ever na-reject natin si HA or the alternative? O di lagyan mo ng negation. There is or not enough evidence to support HA. As simple as that. So since we rejected HO, so enough yung ebidensya natin to support the alternative. So that is the conclusion. Simple conclusion. Para hindi mo na gawin the average lifespan of people today is greater than 70. O, di ba? Parang mas mahirap yun. So, gawin mo na lang enough evidence to support HA. So, sapat na yung ebidensya mo para masuportahan yung HA na kiniklaim mo. Okay? So, that is the simple answer for number 1. So, please kindly react po sa ating heart kapag wala nang tanong sa number 1. Wala na pong tanong. Yun. Irish, may tanong ka ba? Irish, nandito ba si Irish? Hello?
Hello, sir.
May tanong ka ba? Or
Wala,
naiintindihan
sir.
naman? Wala. Naiintindihan naman. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Alright. How about the others? Mga Yums. Yes.
Sir, may question po. Pwede po bang pa-explain ulit nung sa second step? Hindi ko po ganun nasundan.
Alright. In second step, you're going to determine the level of significance and then determine if it is a C-test or T-test. Or if ever na directional siya, then write one tail. And if ever non-directional, there's no direction, just write two tail. Since we have a direction here which is greater than, and it is one tail because it is a nagre-rely lang siya sa greater than or the right hand or the right side of the normal distribution. That's why I wrote here one-tailed kasi one-tailed lang siya eh. To the right lang siya. That's why directional. Kailan ba siya magiging non-directional? If walang binanggit na greater than or less than or any words na synonymous sa greater than or less than. Okay? So since greater than siya, so going to the right and it is positive. And I wrote z-test here because our test statistic is z-test because of the sample size. The sample size is 100. It is greater than 30. That's why we're gonna use the z-test. Nasagot ko ba yung tanong?
Okay po, sir. Thank you po.
Shall we move on to the next problem? Okay na po ba? Okay, number 2. Okay, number 2 naman, the average length of time for students to register for classes at certain college has been 50 minutes. Then a new registration procedure using modern computing machines is being tried. If a random sample of 12, random sample of 12, diba? So 12 ng sample size. Meaning to say, we're going to use t-tests. But first, we need to identify or we need to formulate our alternative and our HO and HA. So what is our mu or what is our sample size? Again, we have the samples of 12 students here and yung kahilera niya is 42 minutes. So what is 42 minutes? Population mean or sample mean? Write your answer. If you know, if you know the answer, you can utilize our chat box. So what is 42 minutes? Population mean or sample mean? So sabi ni Glyza, sample mean, very good because kahilera niya si sample size. The sample size is 12. Very good, Irish. And Louis Bond, sample mean po. Very good. Kasi nga, kahilera niya si sample size. The sample size is 12. And then again, we're going to use the degree of freedom here because the sample size is 12. We're going to use t-test. Since we already identified the sample mean, meaning to say, the 50 is our population mean. So the mu is equivalent to 50. Then the mu, do we have a direction in number 2 problem? Do we have a direction?
Yes po, sir.
And what is
Less
it?
than po.
Very good, it's less than. So we're going to use less than here, 50. And for number 2 naman, number 2 is the alpha is 0.01. This is 1%. Then directional siya because of the word less than. Meaning to say one-tailed siya for the test statistic. Or hypothesis test is one-tailed and test statistic is, what is the test statistic? T-test. Since it is one-tailed, directional siya. Directional. Next, for number 3, we're going to identify or we're going to solve what is the critical region. Ay, since t-test siya, ibig sabihin, T ang isusulat ko. T, critical, yan. Or T, tama, critical. Okay. So, kunin na natin yung DF. Your DF is equivalent to, what is our N? 12. 12 minus 1. So, our DF here is equal to 11. Now, please bring out your T table and locate the critical region of 11 and 0.01. One-tailed tayo ha. Ano yung sagot? Check nyo nga yung sa module nyo. 2.33. Sigurado kayo? Critical region ha. Hindi ko na-download eh. Send ko yan sa GC, T-table. Oh, sabi ni Abalos, 2.718. That is the correct answer. The correct answer is 2.718. We have 99% for the level of confidence because the level of significance is 0.01. I repeat, the level of significance is the opposite of the level of the level of significance is 0.01, meaning to say 99% siya. O, yan po. Hanapin yung 99% or 0.01 na level of significance sa table. Si Avalos lang nakasagot. It's 2.718. Nakita nyo na ba yung table? 2.33 is wrong. Please double check. Download it first, the T-table, or in your modules, di ba? Nandun na. Nandun yung table ninyo. Please, download it. O, Glyza, 2.17. Luis 1 is same answer, 2.718 po. Hindi ko nalagay yung table. Wait lang, download natin. Okay. Ito ko na download. Nakita nyo na yun. Ay, wala. Ka-close yung Facebook. Close yung Facebook ko. I-search na lang natin. T-table. Nakita nyo ba? Yan. Yan. Search natin yung T-table. This is the T-table. And one-tailed siya, diba, Bon? Is it one-tailed?
Yes po.
Okay, one-tailed. And what is the level of significance? What is the level of significance? 0.01 or 99%. Right?
Yes po.
Okay. Okay. Kunin ko to ha. Yan. So this is one-tailed and 0.01 level of significance or 99% the cumulative probability. And we have the degree of freedom which is 11, right? So the sample size is 12, so we're going to subtract lang ng isa. Tama? Then trace natin. The answer here is 2.718. So Liza and Von Abalos got the correct answer. Thank you. So that is the technique on how to find the value of the critical region, either the t-test or yes, t-test lang. Kasi yung z-test nasa table naman na pala. Nasa module yung may. Okay, so we're going to write here 2.718, the critical. So we're going to write TC, not Z, because the statistic here is T. So the critical region is it less than or greater than? Less than, greater than?
Sir, less than po.
Okay, less than negative 2.718. Yeah. Sir, kailangan ba lagyan ng negative if it is less than? Yes. Kasi yung negative, less than siya, di ba? So when it comes to identifying the direction, this is very important. Yung sa critical region natin, dyan natin ilalagay if it is a positive or a negative. So we already know the value of the critical. So let's move on to number 4. The number 4 is the z value. It is not z value, it's t value, but the same lang sila ng formula or way on how to compute the value of the t. So x bar minus the mu all over s, since the standard deviation is unknown, so we're going to use the sample size only and the value of your n. So kanina, the sample bar is, the sample mean is 42, right? So we're going to use 42 as our x4 minus the mu. The mu here is 50 because that is our step number 1. Population mean is 50. Then the sample size in problem number 2 is 11.9. According to the problem, standard deviation of 11 minutes. And kahilera niya yung mga sample. Kahilera niya ang sample, kaya kahilera niya rin ang sample ng 11 minutes. Kaya nga sample, standard deviation ang 11.9. Kahilera niya ang mga sample . Sample mean, sample size, syempre, Simple, standard deviation din siya. So we're going to use, alright, 11.9. So 11.9 po dito, 11.9 all over 12 because our n is 12. Then please compute the t-value using your calculator. Go. And please write or type your answer in our chat box. Go. Two decimal places only. Okay, 2.33. Kaya pala ang sagot niyo kanina is 2.33 kasi z-value yung binibigay ninyo. Advance kayo. Critical region and z-value is different. Alright, so the answer here is negative 2.33. Negative 2.33. Yan, so pare-paras ka yung sagot, no? Yeah, so negative 2.33. That is the p-value. Yung sa critical kasi iba yun. That's the time that you're going to use. Kapag sinabing critical kasi, you're going to use table. Pag sinabing value, you're going to use the formula. Okay, number 5. So, yung number 5, since less than siya, so magre-rely lang tayo sa ating normal distribution to the left. To the left lang tayo, no? And the critical region is negative 2718. So, approximately, this is negative 1, negative 2, then this is negative 3. Negative 3, negative 2, negative 1. So, the critical region is negative 2718, approximately located here. This is our critical region for T, and the rejection area is to the left because the direction is to the less than, kaya to the left. And we computed the T value, so negative 2.33 and negative 2.33 as our T value is located here. So, hindi po siya nadaanan ng rejection area. So, we're going to accept HO. Wala tayong magagawa kundi i-accept si null. And i-reject natin si H.
A.
So sad. Pero, yun talaga. So, number 6, what is our conclusion? Since we rejected the HA, so not enough evidence, no? Not enough. So, there's not enough, no? Enough evidence to support HA. And that is the final answer for number 2. Questions? If you have questions, please raise your hand and you can utilize the chat box if you have questions. If none, go on. May problema ba?
Sir, wait lang po. Pinipicture po.
Okay. If ever na wala na po tayong problem or clarifications, queries, questions for number 2 problem, can you
Sir,
click
okay na
the
po.
heart reaction po tayo. Heart reaction. John, Princess, Marianne, Jonathan, Zachary, Kirby, Shay, Carl, Alex, ito si Alex. Right? Attendance nyo ha. Dating gawin ha. Essential GC. Not enough evidence to support HA because we rejected the alternative. So, that's it. Next. Okay, tandaan nyo yun ha. Yung direction ng ating TC or the critical region. Yung critical region kasi is less than. Kaya may negative siya ha. Next. Number 3, last problem. Kasi 2:30 na. A manufacturer of sports equipment has developed a new synthetic fishing line that he claims has a mean breaking strength of 8 kilograms with a standard deviation of 0.5 kilogram. Then we're going to test the hypothesis that M, or the mu, sinabi niya doon, no, mu is equal to 8 kilograms against the alternative. Sinabi niya na rin, alternative hypothesis with M or not equal, G is not equal 8 kilograms if a random sample of 50 lines is tested and found to have a mean breaking strength of 7.8 kilograms. So we have 0.01 as a level of significance. First, sinabi niya na doon yung hypothesis, yung null. So number 1, so our HO here, so the mu is equivalent to 8. And for our alternative hypothesis, M is not equal to 8. And for number 2, what is the level of significance? The level of significance for the alpha is 0.01. And since the HA is not equal, meaning to say that is two-tailed. There's no direction. Two-tailed po tayo. Since not equal siya, non-directional. This is non-directional. ND stands for non-directional. And what is the test statistics are we going to use? Is it Z or T? Is it Z or T? Can utilize our chat box if you know the answer. Sabi ni Justin, T. Sabi ni Winner, T. Jack Kevin, T. 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 Bakit T lahat ang sagot ninyo? Basahin niyo mabuti yung problem. Against the alternative hypothesis is not equal to 8 if a random sample of 50. Oh, if a random sample is 50. Yes, should be z-test because 50 is the random size. Right? The sample size is 50. Uh-huh. So, nandun yung random sample na nandito rin yung working strength of 7.8. Okay? So, since yung sample size is nasa 50 lines and the mean is kahileran yung sample, so ano si 7.8? X bar is equal to 7.8. Gets po? Gets ba? Nagets po ba? Si Winner, nagets po ba? Winner kung bakit sample size is 7.8? Winner. Si Winner. Mag-type ka kung nagets mo yung sample size na 7.8. Si Winner. Nasaan na si Winner? Ano ba po? Wala siya. Oh, Alex. Hello, Alex. Yung aking mayor. Mayor, nandiyan ka ba? Gets mo ba kung bakit naging sample size ang 7.8? Hello? Can you type yes po sa chat box? Mayoran, ito ka ba? Yes po. Yeah. Kasi kahilera niya yung 50, no? Kaya 7.8 is X bar. Two-tailed siya kasi there's no direction and it is already given in the problem that M is not equal to A. That's why two-tailed. And the test statistic that we're going to use is z-test because the random sample is D. So z-test. Next, for number 3. So find the critical or the critical region for Z. Answer. So use the level of significance 0.01 and take a look at the table. Take a look at the table. You must find a two-tailed there and one a 0.01. Very good. Sabi ni Joshua, si J 2.575. So positive or negative. Z is positive or negative 575. Alright? A 2 point the critical region is positive or negative 2.575 because it is two-tailed, so it's either right or left, no? Because of the HA is not equal to 8. Next, for number 4, for the Z value, X bar minus the mu all over standard deviation is known square root of n. What is our X bar again? X bar is 7.8. Our X bar is 7.8. And then minus the mu, which is 8. And standard deviation is, what is the standard deviation? The standard deviation here is 0.5 kilogram. So we're going to write 0.5 kilogram here. And for our n is 50. Yes, it's 50. Our n is 50. Then please compute using your calculator for the z value. Answer. Sabi ni Patricia, negative 2.83. Negative, negative. Your answer should be negative or positive. Okay? So, pwedeng negative, pwedeng positive. But, since 7.8 is less than, no? That's why we're gonna use negative. So, the answer here is negative 2.83. Very good. 2.83. For the z value, you must use the negative sign because we're going to rely our answer depends po sa ibibigay ng calculator, no? Yes, we all, we have the critical region positive and negative, but since the z value is negative 2.83, so we're going to rely our answer at the left side of our normal distribution. So in number 5, we're going to decide now if it is reject or accept the HA or the HO. We're going to use the normal distribution here. So we're going to use the left side portion of our normal distribution again, 2.575. 2.575 for the critical region. This one, this is two, this is three. Negative 3, 2, 1. Negative 2, negative 1, negative 3. So negative 2.5 is approximately here. This is our critical region. In the critical region, since negative po, so the rejection area is to the left. And we have negative 2.83 approximately located here for the z value. So nasa rejection area, the z value is under the rejection area. We're going to reject what?
Reject HO.
We're going to reject HO and we're going to accept the alternative hypothesis. And for number 6, ha, kuno, ha. Accept HA because the Z or the critical region is under. I mean the Z value is under the critical region. And for the conclusion, since we accepted the HA, so we have enough, no? We have enough evidence. Okay? So we have enough evidence to support the alternative, right? Support the alternative for HA. And that is for day number 19.
Sir,
Yes, one.
sir, yung letter B parang di ko naintindihan po yung B po, yung sa evidence, yung B.
B. Saan yung B dyan?
Yung letter V sa evidence, hindi ko maintindihan yung letter
Ay, evidence. Yan, sorry na. Pangit ang sulat ko pag nagmamadali. Enough evidence. Tama yung spelling ko. Evidence to support HA. That is point number 3. So, pag wala nang tanong, heart react po. Heart react po tayo if you don't have questions na po. If you already nakuha nyo ba yung discussion natin? If ever na may questions kayo, please don't hesitate to message me and messenger kasi tapos na yung meeting, nandito na yung mga teachers. So, for your activity, please, maghintay na lang kayo ng announcement. I'm going to post it in GCR na lang or in GC group chat. So, that's all for today. So, pag wala ng tanong, that's all. Bye-bye guys. Thank you.
Bye, Sir Ball. Ingat po. Thank you po.
Bye-bye, bye-bye guys. Bye. Thank you so much. Pag wala ng tanong, bye-bye na.